This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Moments of Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, and thanks for listening. If you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today I have a very special guest in studio with me, and we're going to be talking about inspirational hope. And it's a phenomenal story that it really touched my heart and so many others. And I'm excited to have them in studio today, and all the way from Virginia. Right? And now it's cold, so I was like, did you bring the cold weather with you?
I think we did.
Before I introduce my guest, I would like to say hi to Ed behind the glass and say, hi, Ed.
On a nice, cool Friday.
It is. And thanks for all you do. And also, so my guest today, she wrote a memoir. You call it a memoir, right? Mm-hmm. It's called Struggling with Serendipity. And it's a story that started off very tragic a long time ago, and right. Where accidents can be life-changing, and then turn into such inspirational hope where if you don't give up, then there's hope, right?
Right.
And I want to welcome to Moments of Clarity, Cindy Kolbe and her husband, John. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for having us. And yeah, I got to say, it's so great to meet you in person.
Oh, thanks.
I've watched your shows, and you've had me on before with the story, even before it was a book.
Yeah.
You were one of the first supporters. I wanted to thank you for that, and for the opportunity to be here in person today.
Well, thanks for traveling all the way to come here. And it's an honor to meet you in person, too. I mean, who's not going to support this story? It's amazing. So let's start from the beginning, because I know the listeners are kind of anxious, like, what are they talking about?
Right.
But struggling with serendipity, and I know it started off for you one night traveling with your kids from a wrestling match with your son?
It was actually a concert, a college concert that my son was in at Ohio State. It was late at night. We were 5-6 minutes from home, literally. And I fell asleep at the wheel. And, you know, we hear about these life-changing moments. Everybody has them. But it still is amazing how the whole world can change in a moment. And that's how I feel it really did for us. And not just for me and my youngest daughter who was injured in the accident, but for our whole family, for our friends. It's had such a widespread impact. And of course, initially it was tragic. It was a 14-year-old.
So who was in the car with you first?
Yes, right. Okay, my 2 daughters and a friend. And my youngest daughter, Beth, was in the front seat. And she sustained a C6-7 spinal cord injury, which is
leads you to kind of as a quadriplegic, right?
Right. It's one of the worst kinds. A spinal cord injury in the neck. She's quadriplegic, limited arm function, and no finger function to speak of. She can move one finger a few inches up and down. So life-changing. And it's not just the paralysis piece of it. It changes how your body organs function. You know, it's a far-reaching injury. Far beyond paralysis. So at first,
so she was 14?
She was 14. But you know, the amazing start to this story is from immediately after the accident. You know, we're upside down, for God's sake. And
what'd you hit?
I hit a ditch at the side of the road, and we flipped 3 times. And Beth is telling me, Mom, I'm okay. It's going to be okay. And just kind of like that tone of voice, like, she's calm. It's okay. It's going to be fine. And I was not there. I was not feeling that at that moment.
You said that just looking at her, you could tell she was injured somehow.
Oh, right. Because even after I undid her seatbelt and she was laying on the roof of the car, just the angle of her neck. Her neck was broken and shattered. They had trouble putting plates in, finding enough bone to put the plates in to support her neck. So, right. So you experience that. It's changes everything. But what led our journey, we let Beth lead the way because she was the only one in our family that really believed everything was going to be okay. I thought nothing was ever going to be okay again. I mean, really.
Plus, you must have been crushed with guilt.
Oh,
and
definitely.
Feeling accountable for that and responsible. And
exactly. And
as a mother, I mean, that must have been heart-wrenching.
It was. And also with quadriplegia, there's many health risks, deadly health risks. So it's very scary. So much anxiety, what's going to happen next? This terrible thing happened. I just felt like every moment I was on edge. Okay, what's going to happen next? Every time the phone rang, every time, I was with Beth in the hospital and the doctor examined her, is like always that anxiety about what was next, what worse thing was coming. So I had experienced depression before the accident, which obviously became a much bigger problem.
Yeah, it probably exacerbated
exactly.
that after all of that, especially situational depression.
Right.
And life-changing events can really trigger symptoms of depression.
Exactly, and with the
John,
anxiety.
where were you with this too?
Right.
Yeah.
John was amazing. He was my rock during the time. He just was always there. But you probably have some thoughts on this too.
People had come to me and around that time and said, you folks are all doing so well. You just must be an amazing family. And I usually answered just by saying, Elizabeth is carrying me on her shoulders. Because she was. She really was. I think
Just that kind of child?
I don't know where that inner strength came from, but after the accident, it sure blossomed. I think it was about the second day in the hospital. It was my task to kind of lay it out for her and tell her, the stark reality of her paralysis. And the first thing she said was, let's not talk about what I can't do. Let's talk about what I can do.
Wow, that deserves a bell. I love that.
And one of the things she said was, I can still sing and, that kind of thing. She just sort of had that can-do attitude, which, we look back on it now and we can explain it. You have two choices, right? You can sort of give up and everything, or, you're in 8th grade, you can go forward. And boy, she went forward. She rehabbed that summer in Green Springs. She had an exceptional physical therapist, Lorraine Bauer, and her staff in Green Springs, small town, Ohio. And then, the end of the summer, her friends are going to high school. Now, she could have just stayed home and still rehabbed and, got stronger, but she just decided, no, I'm going to high school. And that was kind of typical for her all the way. It was just, today's another day, let's go forward.
And meanwhile, I'm assuming that throughout time she's developed more capabilities, but at first...
Right, at first she could hardly move. Right, it takes a long time to build up even a small amount of strength after a spinal cord injury.
And not relearn how to do everything.
Exactly. And she was determined to become more independent, and nobody thought that was even really a possibility for her. But at the same time, nobody told her she couldn't do it either. So it took her a long time, but she kept that as her goal, and she achieved it after about 4.5 years, which is really rare for someone with her level of disability, because it takes so much persistence. I write in the book about failing. Someone like myself, if I fail at something a couple times, I'm not very likely to keep trying. Mm-hmm. I don't have that kind of a drive to keep going. Something that I write about in the book is that Beth was the opposite, because there were so many things that she couldn't do, A to Z, little things even. Putting her hair up in a ponytail,
mm-hmm.
it bothered her. She was 14 and she wanted to put her hair up in a ponytail. That bothered her more than other things about her disability. But the way that she approached it, instead of trying it several times with occupational therapists and failing, and she didn't give up. So every day she would try herself to put her hair up. And even just positioning to be able to do that, she didn't have balance. She couldn't control her body. So she had to kind of get in a position where she could lean back so she wouldn't fall out of her chair, to be able to put her hands up and try to do something with them. So she tried to put her hair up every day several times, and then she would hand it to me and I would put it up. Well, after 2 years, she figured out how to do it.
Wow.
Just that kind of persistence. But it is a testament to what can be done if you have persistence and if you don't give up.
Yeah, and that's not even the most accomplished thing she's achieved, although that was probably very tedious.
Right.
I want to welcome callers to call in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. If you have anything you want to add in or share or ask questions.
Sure.
866-826-1340. And so it's time for our first break, but it's amazing. For the listeners, I want to just say that I've heard this story before, and her daughter Beth is just gorgeous and went on to do some really phenomenal things that some of us, even without spinal cord injury, could never do. So this is crazy. It's crazy inspirational. It's a wonderful way to start the weekend. And I encourage you to stay tuned, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Are you or your loved one suffering from addiction to drugs or alcohol? My name is Steven Sundquist, and I am a recovered addict. You are not alone. My team of dedicated professionals at All In Solutions Counseling Center is waiting to help you. With our evidence-based services, you can rely on us to help get your life back. We accept most major insurances and offer a variety of treatment options. Call now, 561-289-0779. Again, that number is 561-289-0779. 3 years ago, I made the call. Will you?
Do you ask yourself any of these questions? Will I ever be able to get out of debt? Will I ever be able to retire? How am I going to pay for my children's education? How do I begin saving for my family's future? And if something were to happen to me, will my family be taken care of? Have you struggled in finding the answers? Forever Forward Financial can help answer these and many more questions about your financial future by teaching you how money works, by providing you the financial education you seek, by assisting you in making the right retirement or educational decisions that are best for you and your family, and by helping you take the necessary steps in establishing and meeting your financial goals. Please call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. The number, 727-422-7761.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And when